late game execution.
No, ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
What up, YouTube? Franchise Sports TV back again with another video. I got an announcement to make. Two of them, actually. One of them, as some of you guys might know, the finals are right around the corner, right? And I've said this plenty of times, probably since March, April, maybe February. But after game 4, 5, 6, or 7, I'm kind of done with YouTube. I'm kind of done. I think I'm done. I might be done. Yeah, I'm calling it quits after one of those games in the finals. Game 4, Game 5, Game 6, Game 7 in the finals. I'm calling it quits. Just want to, do something else. Other than talk about basketball on YouTube. I think I did something on YouTube when it comes to this. I think I did. There's so many other people who are in the same lane as I am. And I feel like there's enough people out there who can speak about the hypocriticalness of the NBA media and, of course, how the NBA is today and all that stuff. I think there's plenty of people, plenty of voices out there that can speak for that. I've done my share of it. I'm done. So that happens after game 4, 5, 6, or 7 for the third time. Just to make sure people caught that. But I will leave you guys with a present. And I mentioned it before, but it was erased in a great disaster of May of 2025, a couple weeks ago. But there's a special video coming out about our favorite person in the league. If you guys know who that is. So expect that still to come out. I luckily have some of the files. I think I still have a file of the Bummy James song, so that might come back into play for the next couple of weeks. But yeah, it's over. At least for now for me when it comes to YouTube. After the NBA Finals is over. But anyways, let's jump into what's been on my mind in the last hour or so, let's say. So, I made a video yesterday saying that Anthony Edwards is nowhere close to Michael Jordan. Some people were in agreement. Some people didn't like it. But you know what? Don't care. He's nowhere close to. And then, I did not watch the game last night. I'd rather have watched Mission Impossible 8 and then watch the game. I looked on there right before the movie started. Opening credits came on. And I'm like, what the hell? How are the Minnesota Timberwolves down by that much in a closeout game? There ain't no fight. There's no resistance. Nothing. And I think a couple hours later, look on the final score, and of course it was a blowout. OKC is in the finals now. And I think I posted the score at the time saying that Michael Jordan would not allow this. And I got I can't even say the stands, the Lacote. It's not just the Lacote who are just, what's the best word to describe it without saying anything derogatory about them? They're the only ones who are, Lacotes are not the only ones that are miseducated. Young NBA fans are miseducated. Because they don't do their history. They don't do their work. They don't do the time. They don't do the research. They don't do anything. They don't look up nothing. They just sprout whatever dumb stuff that comes to mind and expect for people like me and others not to fact check them. And I fact checked this idiot earlier today. Some of you guys might have saw it. But I'm going to fact check him even more. Because this guy decided to say, oh, Jordan was getting swept out of the playoffs, missing the playoffs. Well, if you do your research, you dodo brain, you realize Jordan has never missed the playoffs in his Chicago Bulls tenure. Wizards, different story. But Chicago Bulls tenure? No! He never missed it, you dodo brains out there. First year in the league, the Bulls made it. Played by Milwaukee Bucks. Did not advance. Second year after that, coming off a fractured foot, not knowing, well, I can't say not knowing, but the Chicago Bulls try to keep him from playing. He ends up playing anyway. Yes, they got swept by the Boston Celtics, but you know what? They played the Boston Celtics is considered probably one of the top 5 teams in NBA history. People forget about that. These kids don't know nothing about that because they don't do their research. That Boston Celtics team was... Hold on. Somebody will be calling me right now. Hold on. That Boston Celtics team was 67-15. Swept the Bulls that year. Jordan did take them to a double overtime in game 2, 135-131. That was the 63-point game that Michael Jordan had. That 63-point game hasn't even been broken by anybody yet, because I think that's the highest highest scoring in the playoffs so far. No one has broken that yet. I don't think anybody will. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. I don't know. It's still yet to be determined. Keep in mind, Jordan's team was 30-52. They was an AC. But the Boston Celtics team was an all-time great team. Going back to that. 4-1 to Atlanta. Swept my Milwaukee Bucks in the conference finals that year. Like, it wasn't even close, except for Game 3. Game 3 was 111-107. And then went 6 games against the Houston Rockets with Hakeem Olajuwon in that game. In that series. That was an all-time great team. 67-15. Reading some of the stats of that team. At the time, they won 82 combined regular season and playoff games, a record that stood until Michael Jordan's Chicago Bulls racked up 87 wins in 96, which was later broken by the 2016 Golden State Warriors, who 88 wins combined. Read this right here. This must be new. See, Hoops Height later ranked this squad as the team with the 17th easiest path to the NBA Finals in 2024 due to the 30-52 record of the Bulls' first round opponent. Doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter at all. That Boston Celtics team had Kevin McHale, of course, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and that team. Larry Bird averaging 25 per game. Kevin McHale averaging 21. Robert Parrish averaging 16. Dennis Johnson with 15 himself. Danny Ainge with 10. And they had Bill Walton on that team as well. It wasn't the same Bill Walton, but they had Bill Walton on that team. Also, not to mention, they had Rick Carlisle on that team, current coach of the Indiana Pacers. The team was an all-time great team. And you look at Jordan's team. Who was on that roster on that 30-52 team? Gene Banks, Dave Corzine, Quentin Daly, and old George Gervin. Not the same George Gervin from 10 years prior. Sidney Green, Michael Horton, of course Mike, Kyle Macy, Charles Oakley, Juwan Oldman, John Paxson, Mike Schmidt, and Orlando Woodward. That team does not compare to the Boston Celtics team. Jordan, in that series against the Boston Celtics, averaged 43.7 points per game. To say that Jordan was nothing at age 23 is an absolute imbecile, idiotic statement to say, because this guy did say that. Jordan that year, of course, he only averaged 22.7 because he was out for half of the season. The 86-87 season, you want to keep going, yes, they swept by the Boston Celtics. That Boston Celtics team was still great. They were still great. Michael that year averaged 37, 5, and 5. 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals, and 1.5 blocks. By that time, Jordan was probably age 24 at the time, but around age 23, 24, Jordan was already a slam dunk champion, first team already, a couple first teams, and a 3-time All-Star. By the time Scottie Pippen came rolling in, Scottie Pippen was not the player he was during the Bulls dynasty when he first came in. As we all know, Pippen had to learn from Jordan himself. Jordan had to get everyone on his level because he was on a totally different level than everybody else. Almost. If it's not named Bird or Magic or even Isaiah Thomas. What Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'm going to do this, would they even compare to the Boston Celtics, Detroit Pistons at the time? Even Philadelphia 76ers and Milwaukee Bucks during that time? Yes, I said Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee Bucks was always right there, but they couldn't get past either Philly or Detroit or even Boston. Best 80s team who couldn't get to the finals. What the Minnesota Timberwolves now, how would they even compare to these 80s teams? Everybody else was great on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Right? Right. But Anthony Edwards, when they need him, he's not there all the time. Jordan had no other excuse but to be there. Jordan, the year after that, after the season they got swept by the Boston Celtics the first time, did average 37.1 points per game, like I just said, I mentioned. Had some of the highest career averages in points per game during that time. What are we talking about? That's why we shouldn't compare Anthony Edwards to Jordan ever again. Because Jordan was doing some things that was just absolutely people couldn't even fathom at the time. And once Jordan learned how to win, and once he got that team around him, the team that was able to win and beat the Detroit Pistons, who were still in their prime, contrary to what Isaiah Thomas be saying and people like him be saying, we was out of our prime. No, Detroit Pistons was not out of their top prime when they was beaten by the Bulls. Look at everybody's age. Everybody was still in their late 20s, early 30s. Still prime. Just got beat by a better team. Jordan didn't hide. I can't say hide, but Jordan didn't hide. Well, I'm going to say hide. Jordan didn't hide like Anthony Edwards is doing, or did do in these playoffs. Jordan wasn't going to back down. We know Jordan ain't going to back down because he ain't got no back down in him. Your boy LeBron took forever to get to the playoffs. He probably had a better team than Jordan did, or had. Once again, Jordan didn't have to join a super team to win. LeBron did. There's a lot more I can say about it, but I'm crunched for time right now. I just wanted to address that verbally. I don't know what these kids are talking about. I don't know how they did. It just takes a little bit of research. Just a little bit before sprouting your mouth. They don't do that. They just sprout their mouths. I want to say more, but they just sprout their mouths. 13 straight years in the playoffs and he never went to the playoffs. It's so stupid. It's dumb. Anyways. Oh yeah. For people who don't know, when Pippen first came into the league, Pippen averaged, was it 7 points a game when he first came in? Let me get the exact. Let me get the exact numbers right quick for y'all, so we can end this charade right here being stupid. So when Pippen first came into the league, right? So we're gonna be exact. In 1987-88 season, he averaged 7.9 points per game, 2 assists, 1.2 steals, 0.7 blocks, and 3 rebounds a game. Yeah. Jordan wasn't nothing until Pippen came into the league. Sure. At some point, he used to be saying all kinds of dumb stuff, man. I don't care if it's trolling or not. Do your research. Oh, and keep in mind, Jordan averaged 37 points and 43 points playoffs and regular season for those years without really shooting a three like that. I think his field goal percentage from three one year was like 12, maybe. Let me be exact right quick before I get off here. Let me be exact. Because I don't want to steer the kids wrong. Let's be accurate here. So, in his first 3 years in the league, from the 3-point, 17% from 3, 16% from 3, 18% from 3. Yeah, 18% per 3. Got it all mixed up. 18% from 3, averaging 37.1 points per game. In the playoffs, in the year when he went against the Boston Celtics, he shot, actually he made 1 3, but he was 50% from the field, because it has him at 100% from 3, but that means he probably shot 1 3 and didn't shoot anymore. Attempted 1 3, made it, and that was it. He didn't attempt any more. Jordan, outside of his rookie year, right? Jordan never averaged anything below 30 points a game. But they want to tell me, these guys want to tell me LeBron's the GOAT. Right? But the last time I checked, LeBron averaged 17 points in the final game. If y'all don't get out of here, man. But anyways, I rest my case. These freaking kids are ridiculous. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention a very key point in this whole stupid ass argument. I think Nike already gave Jordan a shoe contract his rookie season. Yeah. See, already at the time, even in his rookie season, Mike was already pretty well known to the general public. Anthony Edwards, it took a couple of years. When he just got his first shoe last season, I mean, they didn't give him a second one yet. So, pump the brakes. Talking about Jordan was a nobody. As of, what is it, May 29, 9:21 in the morning, a.m. on a Thursday. As of now, at this moment in time, no one will ever compare to Jordan when it comes to being a cultural icon at all. No one will compare.